Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I just thought I'd come and have a little coffee with you and do a little tarot. I'm going to find us here so I can chat with you guys if you want. All right. Okay. Let me get a little fire going here so we can invite in all the elements for our messages today. So welcome to my channel. My name is Tina. And I'm an intuitive reader of tarot and a channel for spirit. I pulled a couple of Lightworker cards today to see what spirit wanted to talk to you about. The two cards that came out is Keepers of the Earth and Protection. And Keepers of the Earth, this card is bringing the message like you're not alone. You have ancestors that are backing you up here. So I know that sometimes this feels like a lone journey, that's why I wrote Black Sheep on it, because sometimes there's only one person in a family who wakes up, who gets the awareness for whatever reason. The rest of the family doesn't get it, and so it feels lonely. It feels like, they look at you like you're absurd, and you are getting these messages from spirit, right? To do this, to act this way, to be kinder, to watch what you're watching on television, like what do you... Hello, you guys. Welcome. And the second card is Protection. Call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. This is like about, things that happen to us like throughout our life. You know what I mean? Soul lessons that we learn. And it's about how people can suck our energy from us, right? So this is about protecting yourself, doing ritual, calling in the other realms, understanding that your soul is part of that. It's part of that bigger group, right? So I'm going to get some tarot messages and ask for clarity on these messages, like Keeper of the Earth, spirits, angels, guides, ancestors, archangels, ascended masters, and all that is coming from love and light. Thank you so much for always being here and for picking out such really wonderful messages. So thank you so much, and please help me deliver these messages in a clear and accurate manner. Keepers of the Earth, clarify that you're not alone. So it's saying that there's challenges coming, or you have been challenged. Like being a light worker is not easy. It's not easy work. It's about raising your vibration out of what it has been in order to bring awareness to others, right? I feel like it's time for us to speak our truth. You have 2 5s here. So 5s are about change. They're about quick change, So I feel like, speak about the challenges you've been through. Speak about how you feel about them, how you got out of it, right? And this is also clarifying this ancestor card. So maybe it's your ancestors you need to call in. You know what I mean? Like the more I read tarot, the more I understand the importance of the ancestors who watch over us, 6 of Wands, believe and succeed. This is about success. This is about being noticed in the world, right? And that's what I feel like this is about. Like, I feel like there's usually always messages about like sharing what you know. We don't go through all of these tribulations, life experiences for no reason. We have to work through the energy. We have to come out the other side. And we come out often a very different person because, every time something really shitty happens, super challenging, it changes us. It wakes us up even a little bit more. And we plow through it, we succeed. And it's important for us to tell people about it because other people are going through the same thing. The same thing. So, yeah, I feel like you pretty much understand this chakra system, and the way it works. That's how our higher self tells us stuff that we need to repair, things we need to do, like it works right inside of our body and vibrates out. Solar plexus. So if that is a blocked chakra for you, that could feel like indigestion, right? It could feel like acid reflux, right? And throat chakra, not being able to speak, having a sore throat, laryngitis, that kind of thing, right? So if those things happen, you might check yourself with your soul. Like, what is it? What is it? Okay. So let's see more on this challenging times. Okay, yeah. So it looks like there was a heartbreak, right? Three of Swords. And that's what I was talking about. Usually that puts us in some type of situation, you know what I mean? You get hurt really bad. This card shows it really well. Like the person is like all balled up with his, in this dark place. And then there's sudden enlightenment and he jumps up. He jumps up out of this and he's awakened. And I feel like this happens. You know what I mean? It really, really happens. And I feel like what you're awakening to is this Nine of Pentacles. That your soul is never, ever far. It's always right there with you, This well-deserved reward is what it's talking about. That's the name of the card. Keepers of the Earth. Your reward is enlightenment. Your reward is being successful at it. It's helping other people wake up. It's helping other people understand how to protect themselves from other people's energy or from their own. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's our own energy that stops us from going forward. Depression, right? But usually it's during those dark times, those challenging times, where we get some sort of enlightenment about who we are. See, Spirit is calling you to take the lead in this, maybe by example, maybe by speaking, so let's talk about that speaking part, like the throat chakra. This could be about writing a book. It could be about painting. It could be about just any kind of expressing your feelings. It can be about speaking as well. But I feel like you're taking the lead in some kind of spiritual thing. It's like, I feel like you're leading people out of the loneliness somehow. Tell me how you're doing this. How are you leading the people? Because you're on a different path. You're on a new path and you know which way you're going. You're being led by Spirit. Tell me what that path looks like, Spirit. It calls for strength. It makes you understand your strength. It makes you bury the hatchet with people. You're letting go of grudges. You're not angry. You're not sad. You're just accepting all just the way it is, acceptance. Yeah, and here's that. It's saying like choose your battles, 7 of Wands. And there's 3 colors here on this card, and I think they're important. Sacral chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra again. So whatever this challenging time is that you're facing right at this moment, I feel like you're having a hard time speaking about it. I feel like it goes deep. It could be with a lover, like maybe you're estranged from your spouse, it hurts your heart. And it's hard to talk about those things, huh? Because they're so deep. But I do see healing beginning, and I feel like it's this experience right here that's going to give you the power. You know what I mean? Like, it's the hardest things that make us rise, like it's kind of like that Phoenix card, or the death card, It's like this old person that we were pretty much just sheds off its skin and a new person emerges. Look at you here, healed. I feel like maybe part of your path too is to help other people heal. Like maybe you're reaching out for the lonely. You understand something on a deeper level. You know what I mean? Like it could be heartbreak. It could be challenges in your life. Like, how do I get through this one? But you do every time. Like, seems like you're not going to, but you do. You get successfully through it. And each time you do, you come out a little shinier. You know what I mean? You slough off a little more of the old and allow yourself to become more and more enlightened, awakened. And I feel like you're helping people. You're being so guided. So this protection card, it says call back your power, cut your cords, and soul retrieval. And I looked this up before I started the reading, but I feel like I kind of want to call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. You're being called to protect your energy and call back your power. Maybe all the lost pieces return home now. Take a look at who and what drains your energy. Do not keep your tabs open. Shut down energetically each night. I thought that was kind of interesting. You know how, like, I didn't even know that about a phone. Like, you have to, close out all the stuff. My daughter told me. But anyways, it's kind of like that. Just closing out all the things that have been worrying you all day. Just cut it off before you go to bed so that you're open, so you're free flowing, so that spirit can come in and tell you whatever it wants to tell you. Nothing's in the way. It says energetic cords are formed between people, places, objects, and events, so it's important to keep checking in. Your energy and energetic space are sacred, so treat them as such. Keeping your energy clear takes work. As we go through life, we can give away our power, so it's important that we call it back by cutting energetic cords or doing a form of healing known as soul retrieval. Can you think of a traumatic event, relationship, or soul memory that you're being called to call back your power from? Check into your body now and see which chakra feels like it needs a bit of energetic cleanup. Remember which one came now: solar plexus and throat chakra. So there might be, some kind of blockage in those two areas. So you might want to look in how to open those up. The color is blue for the throat and yellow for the solar plexus. In this challenging times, the sacral and the heart also comes out. So basically, you're going from, from your throat all the way down to your sacral chakra is all blocked, is what it's telling me. So this whole middle part, oops, gratitude alarm. Let's see here, if you don't know about that. Gratitude. I set my alarm every hour for to remind me to be grateful for whatever's just right around me. And I'm grateful for you guys today for being here and for me being able to deliver a message. I love being able to connect with spirit. First thing in the morning, it feels good. It starts my day out really well. And so thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Thanks for hitting the like button and for subscribing and all that. I appreciate all of that. Okay, so angel, spirits, guides, let's clarify what this Three of Swords is. What hurt these guys? What was the challenging time? Well, it tells me that, oh, yeah, it was like it's like a Nine of Swords, like up all night, worried, Like, what is going to happen next? This is anxiety. It's nightmares. It's lack of sleep. This is a 6 of Swords, and this is spirit, like guiding you out of there. The 6 of Swords is kind of like a rescue team, almost, you know? Look at the birds, like leading the boat out of there. It's a really, really topsy-turvy kind of water she's in. And the birds are like, come on, let's get out of there before that boat tips over, right? Those birds represent spirit, your angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your squad, your spirit squad. Yeah, because I feel like, you know, it's been really tough for you. I feel like you're overthinking it. I feel like you feel a little stuck in some way. Maybe there was a fight, or you're having trouble with getting along with people. Maybe someone's playing a mind game with you and you don't know what to do. This could be about a child. It could be about love, right? It could be about a message even. Heavy, heavy energy going on here. So it looks like you've been through a lot, you know, which is what I was saying. Like, you can't end up being like one of these people who lead without an experience like this, because how would you do it? You have no information until you actually live through it. So whatever is going on with you, I see it's very emotional. I feel like it's very heavy and it's been a burden. And I feel like it's part of the light worker journey, you know, it's part of it, because we're being called to like lead people, to help people, to awaken people to the reality of who we really are, how powerful our soul is, right? So I feel like whatever this is, I'm pretty sure if this is resonating for you, it's, you know what this heavy burden is. It's something that you can't stop thinking about. It's something that keeps you up all night. And I just think it's really important for you to understand like how protected you are, but also like it's time for you to like cut your energy from this situation. You know what I mean? So Spirit, how can they do that? Give me just step-by-step directions. How can they do that? Well, there's going to be a new opportunity, right? There's a new beginning coming. So I would say this could be a challenge for some because it's new, you know, and you look like you're in a pretty weird place, stuck place, uncomfortable place. But there's a new opportunity here. It could be about money. It could be about work. It could be about moving. Yeah, I think it might be about work. Maybe you're being called to do a different kind of work, you know, like sometimes like it's in the middle of this shit, this darkness, where Spirit goes, you're a light worker. Pay attention to your light, you know? Yeah, 8 of Wands. I feel like 8 of Wands is spirit activity, fast, change. 8s are about change. And I always feel like these wands, especially in this card, these wands are all honing in on you. You're the target. So I feel like there's something big changing. Spirit is behind this, and I feel like it's a new path. Remember, we got that card already. There's a new path for you, you know, and the healing cards. I don't know if the new path is healing people or if this new path is part of your healing. You know, it could be either. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Jess. All right. So tell me more about this 8 of Wands. What are you bringing in for my collective here? These light worker, beautiful success. You got that card again, too. Remember, it was right here. 6 of Wands. That's about people noticing. You know, so let's just say, oh, look what's at the bottom. There's your soul. There's your soul coming out right there, leading the way. So if you're in this dark place, or you have been, right? So at some point, there is this place where you feel this calling, you feel this pull. Should I listen to my human being who's scared and alone and stuck and sad and angry? Or should I listen to my soul? It's the Two of Pentacles, and that's really how I see it. And it's because of this card. This card represents human. This card represents soul. So it's like, which one are you going to choose? Two of Pentacles. You're kind of up in the air here. You don't know. It looks to me like the human part looks heavier. It's on the bottom, you know? And this is like floating, easy. You know what I mean? It's just there. So what do you want to listen to? Because I feel like Spirit's calling you. And I feel like, I don't know if this is going to be like, you're going to be on a stage. You could be. Maybe you're a public speaker. Maybe you're a YouTuber. Maybe you're a TikToker. I don't know, but people are seeing it. People are being drawn to your energy. People are being drawn to your message, whatever it is, whether you're a singer or whatever. Spirit is saying you have a new opportunity. And you know it too. You feel it. It's just that you've got a lot of cards saying like your human is kind of like pretty heavy. Kind of like that Two of Pentacles. You know, look at you. You're just, you could be struggling inside. You feel stuck. Right? You've been crying. Spirit's wanting you to move. Get in the boat. Go a different direction. You know what I mean? So I know that you can feel the call. You can probably feel it in your solar plexus, in your heart. Let's see. Tell me what the success looks like here. Oh, wow. Wheel of Fortune. And Six of Pentacles. So I feel like, you know, I mean, this Six of Pentacles, I feel like this is like a soul arranged plan. Sixes, you know. And I feel like your soul knows about this plan, but your human is very bogged down. So it's a very big, what do I want to say, like test almost. But I hate to feel like it's a test, but it kind of like feels like it right here. But it is Wheel of Fortune. So it's like this new opportunity. It seems too good to be true. And you're in this, all this fear about whatever happened, about yourself, about this heartbreak, right? But you're being called, and there's this window of opportunity. I feel like it's good, like Four of Wands good, like this could affect your whole entire family. Because the Four of Wands is about family. It's about a stable home. And you have to decide, like, where do I want to put my energy, right? I feel like it's coming in real hot, like a Ace of Wands idea. So, yeah, and again, all those shuffling, and we're still got the Judgment card at the bottom. So it's kind of up to you. Like, are you going to decide to allow your soul to lead you right now? Because your human is very, very sad, very, very scared. And that's exactly when your soul doesn't want to release it. They're like, no, I'm scared. I mean, you're human, right? Your human's like, no, leave me alone. I understand this energy. It's like, I'm just sad. I'm scared. I'm alone. And I feel stuck right here, arguing with my own self. And then there's all these cards. Now, see what's happening is that the light cards, the soul cards, the opportunity cards are now starting to outweigh the human. And that is kind of how it works sometimes. You know what I mean? It's about King of Swords energy. It's about tapping in. It's about getting honest with yourself. It's about making decisions based on what you know. What do we know? We know what our soul tells us. We know what our soul team, our spirit team tells us. We know what our chakra system is telling us. if we're paying attention, right? A lot of times we just look at that as like a symptom and we take a pill, like we get acid reflux, right? So we take some Tums or something, right? But I really feel like this warning that comes in the solar plexus is important because it is a message from your soul. And it might be saying like, all this darkness is not doing us any good. You know, something's got to change here. Because these dark things manifest in our chakra system. That's how our soul talks to us. I hope that you're understanding what I'm saying. But, so, spirits, can you tell me some advice here? Okay. This is about memories, I feel like. And sometimes I feel like memories are the worst part, you know? I mean, that's about like kind of like talking about PTSD maybe even too. Because this is nostalgia. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about the heartbreak. You're thinking about the stuckness. You're thinking about, maybe you're thinking in this space over here, maybe you're thinking you lost your mind a little bit, you know? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask this kid, this little kid, is it you? Like your inner child? And this is the future you? I'm going to get messages from both of those. Tell me what the little child wants to say. What is this memory? Does the little child have this memory? So this would be your inner child, right? Yeah, this goes all the way back to your childhood. And I think this is where you're stuck. You're stuck in it. Your human is stuck in the old thoughts of this child, right? Well, what happened? Tell me what happened here to the child. What's wrong? There was a lot of conflict, and maybe someone like recently has triggered something that made you remember it even more. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm talking about, PTSD. Like it's crazy, you know, you don't think about something for a really long time and then someone comes in and they trigger something, they say something, they act a certain way, and all of a sudden you're back in that little kid mode, scared or feeling like I need to be alone, I can't speak my piece. Yeah, that's where that throat chakra, you've never been allowed to speak maybe. And somebody reflected that to you and it made you remember. It was really unexpected, and I think it kind of blew you away. This has to do with your home, your family, your growing up. I feel like maybe there was a lack of love, lack of nurturing from parents maybe, or in your home life. So what this little child, the inner child, is trying to tell you is that it's time for you to love that piece of you. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember? Because I'm seeing like a whole story here of someone's life where maybe they didn't feel like they could speak what they want, right? They weren't welcome to speak. And it made you feel very distant and kind of like what the title, kind of like the black sheep, like nobody really cared what you thought. And it made you feel some type of way. And I feel like in this new energy, one of the very most important things is for you to love and nurture that inner child. I'll tell you how a good way that you can do that is in the mirror and looking square into your very own eyes. Get very close so you can see very, very just the eyeballs. Focus on those eyes. It's the window to the soul, and I feel like it's such a powerful thing to like just look in there. Can you see the little child that was hurt? Can you love on her or him? Because I feel like that's what's important here. You know, nurturing that little piece of you because it's still hurting. All right, so let's talk to the older person here, and we're going to say 10 years older than now. This is you. And we're going to ask, so tell me some messages from this 10-year farther down the road person. Because remember, you have all this new stuff coming in. So let's see what happens with it. Let's see what's going on with the 10 years from now person. Okay, so there's a new beginning, and you have to have a lot of courage to go for it. This could have something to do with Jupiter energy pushing you forward. There's a lot of growth coming. I feel like also like a lot of passion coming out here. This could be about a new love coming in or something, because it does have a couple on the card. But whenever I see like anything to do with wands or passion, I do feel spirit. And I also feel like creativity energy. You know what I mean? This creative energy. So it could be, maybe that's what Spirit's talking about. This card was flipped over, so I don't know if I just forgot it, but it's the North Node card. And the North Node is really like, it's in your chart, you know, your astrological chart. Like, where is your North Node? Because that is your purpose. That's what your soul came here to do. And so whenever I see this card, it's like your soul is moving you toward that purpose that you came here to do. You know what I mean? And here I see your soul leading the way. I see this Ace of Wands. I see the Wheel of Fortune. So what it's telling me is like, the time is now. You know, otherwise I wouldn't be reading this reading, right? The time is now, something big. So I feel like very, very soon here, you're going to have an opportunity, right? So what has to happen is you have to close out this deceptive cycle that you've been living in, which is this one from your childhood. It's telling yourself some kind of story like, you don't deserve to speak. You aren't good enough. You aren't something enough, right? And what you're figuring out, I feel like in all this inner struggle, and then the light comes in, you know, what you're figuring out is that spirit thinks you're worth it. You know what I mean? Like maybe when you were a kid, you were told something different or made to feel a certain way. And I feel like you're figuring that out and closing it out. It could very well be about that, talking to your inner child, like looking in the mirror eye to eye. You might find out something so huge in that. I mean, I'm sure there will be lots of tears because it's a very emotional thing. You really do connect. You know, your intention is to connect to the child, your child, you, that inner child that's still hurting. And I feel like your 10-year older person self, like 10 years from now, they're telling you that it's truth that's going to change things. It's also, again, talking about your ancestors, which was the very first card. Your ancestors are helping you, right? So I feel like what your older self is telling you is like, there's a big change coming. Just be brave enough to take it. It's going to take a lot of courage, I feel like. But I also feel like since the wheel is here, it's also like the wheel is like something that turns, right? It turns things in your favor. So I think there's an opportunity coming. It's a new path. It might look like too good to be true. It might, honestly, if you are still in this like childlike energy where you feel like you're not good enough, like that's why I'm asking you to please tap into that inner child. Love on that inner child. Tell them it's okay. Tell them they're fine. Because that cycle needs to end. That those old beliefs are lies. You know, whatever it was that you were thinking about yourself or still are in some way. So yeah, so let's see if we can get any more messages here. Advice, spirit. Oh, so I feel like honestly, you know, your heart's opening. Your heart chakra is opening. I feel like you're going toward your wish fulfillment. Here's what I feel like. I feel like you're being called to do something very, very spiritual. Some kind of leadership, some kind of, I don't know, writing a book, like I said, singing a song. It's definitely got success attached to it. It's got really a lot of excitement. It's coming right from your heart. And I kind of feel like this Ace of Cups is coming out saying like, as soon as you like can heal this little child thing, I mean, sky's the limit. Your heart is suddenly open. You look at things different. Look at you jumping here. This is a Nine of Cups. It's wish fulfillment. I feel like this heart opening leads you to freedom, right? A new path. I feel like you feel free. This is a child, even. Like you might feel this way. Maybe you didn't get to feel that way as a little kid, jumping and free and laughing and skipping, but that's what I see happening. And also, whatever it is you're doing is bringing in you financial stability. I feel like you're being gifted this ability to manifest money, what you need. King of Pentacles. That's who he is. He's very stable. And he is the master at manifesting money. King Midas. Everything he touches turns to gold. So, like, maybe not in 100% literal sense, but you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the stories behind these people in these cards. That's why I'm saying it. So it's almost like whatever it is you're being called to do is going to make you feel this way. Stable, solid, grounded, able to manifest. I feel like you're loyal to yourself, firstly, and others as well. But I feel like the most important part is that you're loving yourself a lot here. A lot. You're just going for what you want. It's because you're alchemizing the energy from when you were a kid, right? It's the truth. It is, because it's the Ace of Air. And that is all about speaking your truth. It's about sharing it. And I feel like when you do that, it changes the way you feel about your past. Because what I feel like is going to happen is like, so you get in touch with your inner child, you heal that piece, you call that piece back, you know. Remember that soul retrieval, the protection card. I feel like that happens and there's a new, kind of like a new you born with a new drive for life. And it's very freeing. Okay. Wow. So I'm noticing one other thing, and I don't know if I've ever noticed it in this card before, but you see how that butterfly is over her mouth and it says change? This is about completing a cycle. It's about ending some kind of cycle. And I really feel like it's directly attached to this childhood thing. You know, it's like maybe there's an inability to speak your truth because the throat chakra is here, right? And this is like, this is over. This inability to speak, this fear of being able to talk and like feel like you have anything worthy to say. Like you're letting all of this childhood stuff go, which is where it came from. You start loving yourself, and then you tell yourself a different story. Like, man, I wouldn't be here without that wound. I mean, it took me a long time to get through it, but look at where I am. I mean, because where you are is on a stage with spirit activity all around you. Okay, so that is what I have for the reading today. I hope that made sense for you, and I hope it helps. And yeah, I'm just sending you guys all kinds of love, and I want to say also thank you for accepting this challenge, because it's not easy when spirit shifts you onto your North Node path, because it's never ever something that you've ever done before. It's something different. And anytime we completely change direction, it's a little scary, but you're doing it. And you have spirit guiding you. And I feel like when you get to the other side, it's going to be a very amazing place to be, the way you feel about yourself, because people are starting to notice what you have to say. They're respecting what you have to say. Are you the black sheep now? Not really. You're a leader. You know, you're a leader in the light work. You were chosen. And I just want you guys to know that, we're here for such a bigger purpose. So as soon as you let go of all that little kid stuff, that's when your vibe starts to raise, and you start seeing things different, like the purpose in one of your experiences, or all of them, one at a time. Like, man, this took me here, this took me here, this took me here. Sometimes when I trace back through my life, it amazes me, especially the spiritual journey part, which has been like, I don't know, maybe about 15 or 20 years. Like, it's shifted me. Like, I've always been spiritual minded, but I really started shifting about 20 years ago. And I never thought I would ever be someone that reads tarot. And sometimes people will come on here and tell me that it's evil. And I just deleted a comment here just a couple of minutes ago, but somebody was saying my message from the light worker is evil. There's nothing more contrary to, there's nothing more ridiculous than that statement. But I know that religions sometimes do teach us that. And so, wherever you're at is okay with me. If you want to think it's evil, then don't watch, But if you're being drawn to this message, it's because you're a light worker. It's because you did go through your life feeling like a black sheep. And it's because you want fucking answers, because you feel stuck. You feel like what you have to say is not worth anything. And I get this. I mean, I kind of was raised that same way. You're just a kid, shut up. And I feel like maybe that happened to more than me, because the message keeps coming out, like, we're being asked to not talk. But that's the cycle that you're ending, and it's going to be hard. But like I said, it's all about nurturing that inner child, and you can find it right in your own eyes. So get very close to the mirror and intend to see the little child. Look, look, look. Can I see her? Look in the eyes. I'll tell you what, it is the most amazing thing. And when you find her, just love the shit out of her and let her know that you do care how she feels and that she does have something worth saying and that she's chosen. She was chosen to walk a very lonely path for a reason. Because if we didn't have all those experiences, what the hell would we be able to teach about? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm feeling like. Just understand all those lessons were meaningful. And they got you to where you are right now and where you're going, which is a brand new opportunity. It's got something to do with your soul path. It's got everything to do with your North Node. So if you don't know what your North Node is, look it up. I think that's the other part about, like, when I very first started looking into this avenue of spirituality, what I realized is that my soul left me a map, and I didn't even know it until I was like 50. I didn't know about the map. And it's your astrological chart. That's how our souls planned our life. Our parents, our sign, our moon, our rising, our Pluto, all of it. It all is part of the plan. And the North Node is just huge because it's where your soul wants to go. It's the lesson your soul wants to learn. So if you don't know what your North Node is, you should look it up. Just Google your date. The North Node changes about every 18 months. And I do feel like it's one of the most important, honestly, important pieces of information. But the rest of it will make sense too when you start looking at it, because your South Node, anyway, it's just huge. But you should look into that map if you're interested, especially if you're a black sheep. the black sheep of the family, the only one, that is like, you're the rebel, right? Or looked at that like a rebel, right? It's because of your path. It's because of this. It's because of your soul journey. It's because you're a light worker. And sometimes we're put in a family that doesn't wake up. And it's okay. It's not about them. It's about you. So don't worry about trying to change anybody. Just work on you. It's your soul path. And that's where we need to stay in our own lane, in our own path. We don't have to worry about what other people are doing, thinking, or anything, right? So get in touch with that little child, give it some love, and get on your journey, light workers, because you're being called to do something, and it is time. It is time for us to raise the vibe. It's happening every day, all over the world, and I just am excited about it, and I'm excited that you guys are here and part of that. So I love you so much, and I hope you have a really great day.